Hey, what's up, guys? Back with another video. So today I'm gonna be hitting a few yards. As you guys can see, I hit a few spots here already, and and yeah, so I'm gonna be doing this this yard. Just, disclaimer, it's not the best yard. I'll tell you guys right now, I went through this yard and it just was not appealing at all. There's a few things that are pretty decent, but a lot of toys, to be honest with you. A lot of toys, but I get it. This one's actually more off the main street. You can actually see people from the main street if you're doing a piece from a certain angle. So, and then on the other side right here, it's an industrial street, but it's still kind of busy from what I see because I've seen a lot of cars pass by. And honestly, it looks like the mail, because there's a post office guy right there looking at me going into the yard, and obviously he saw that I really didn't look homeless because there's a lot of tweakers walking around here, and he saw, oh, this dude doesn't really even look homeless or nothing. And he just posted up there, and I know he was posting up there because I saw him drop off mail and then didn't move, and then I saw him just slowly moving, and he was just staring at me. And then I honestly get pissed off sometimes when they're staring at me, so I just stare at them back, and he kind of got startled. He didn't think I was going to do that, so he started just driving. But it's all good, I expect no better from those guys. They're always had problems. I've always had this unspoken rivalry with mailmen. Like, I remember I had one not dropping off my mail because my car was parked a little bit it was parked on a curb, but they didn't like that because they like going straight through, and they didn't like going around. Like, literally you had to turn and go around 2 feet, and they made a whole big deal about it. I almost got into a fight with some Asian lady over this, which was crazy. And I was like, just give me my fucking mail. I damn near forced her to give me my mail, and then after that, they kind of got scared, and then they started giving my mail. So, and then it was crazy too because one of those mailmen got shot around the area I was at, and I feel like it was for the same thing. And I'm like, bro, like, I see these mailmen, and they're like these square dudes that you could tell they're not really from here, and then they go into fucking projects or this bad area, and then they want to try out one of these dudes that just has nothing to lose. I'm like, bro, this is the worst place to do that shit at. I would suggest just staying low and minding your business. And then one of them got shot, and honestly, when they got shot, I kind of laughed at it a little bit because I was like, yeah, it's because I know they're fucking assholes and shit. So, but anyways, but yeah, man, this guy was trying to snitch on me, but I'm like, I did have paint with me, but I wanted to peep this yard out first, but yeah, it looks terrible. So I'm like, nah, I'm gonna just not do this. But yeah, man, so we're gonna go ahead and head out to the other yard. This yard it's pretty much the same road, but I just went ahead and got in my car, and like, instead of walking all the way over here, I just went around and parked, and then I came back in. So I took a shorter route. But as you guys can see here, it's night and day with the talent. This is more talent. You can see there's still some toys here, but for the most part, it's better than the other stuff. And yeah, so as you guys can see, man, homeless encampments. These yards used to be abandoned, but there was always like homeless here. You always run into like a homeless dude here and there. But I've noticed lately, all the yards have just been filled. Like, yards that were like, they're like so deep, like you would actually have to go through the trouble of finding them. And they were full. Like, they were like full of homeless people. I'm like, what the fuck? How did they even get here? But they always try to find shelter where nobody can see them because they don't want to get kicked out, because they're starting to run that thing where they would do in Arizona, where they just run people out the yards, parks, and stuff like that. So yeah, I understand, I get it. But anyways, so yeah, man, so just to get into the giveaway real quick. So obviously this is the main reason for the video. So, or not the main reason, but it's one of the reasons. So as I mentioned, man, I got two more giveaways I'm doing. The bookworm stuff, which is the black books, the markers, and the sticker packs. And it's gonna be like 2 or 3 black books. I just have to check my inventory, see how much I have. And then I also have the 10 Montana cans which I'll throw some tips in there as well. And then let's see what else was I supposed to put. Okay. Yeah, so that's actually it. So those are the 2 giveaways. I'm gonna be doing both of them together, just because it's been so long and I've been so delayed. Like, even this video, it took me a while to put together because I actually edited out a couple videos because I was gonna add some stuff I did like off the main street. I had like 2 things. There was 2 bombs. They were like both main street. No, one of them was a main street bomb, and the other one was a yard as well. But it was like one of those yards you can see off the main street, so it was a half. My bad, bro. Half and half.
I'm just recording and shit. I'm not gonna record it.
I just decided not to add them. I'm just saying for the
my bad.
my going out city video because they are on other sides of town. So I was like, you know what? Why not? I was like, I'm gonna be patient and I'm gonna just put stuff on a yard like I promised you guys. But anyways, yeah, man. So as you guys can see there was a couple people here. You guys saw the garage door open. There's like this place is like an industrial place. There's a guy doing the forklift, but I'm gonna just take my chances and bomb this place anyways. And if they call the cops, I'm gonna just take off. And there was the homeless dudes there though. They were pretty cool. You just kind of have politic with them a little bit, and you're gonna have politic with them a little bit, and then you can go ahead and see what they're feeling like. You know, if you see them get a little aggressive, then you know you can either choose to punk them out of their spot if you're feeling brave, and tell them just pretty much tell them I'm gonna go fucking paint here. If there's a problem, what's good, handle that shit. Or you can go the other route and then just leave. Really, those are the only two options. Because if they get aggressive, you could try to talk it out with them, but a lot of these guys are really ignorant. Some of them will work it out with you. I had one guy trying to show out in front of his girl. It was a homeless dude with his homeless girlfriend at another yard. I'm going to post a video of that yard as well. Another video, I did a piece there that I pretty like. It's actually better than the blue piece I did, or at least to par with it. But I'll upload that video another day. I actually just put it in my next video because, like I said, I don't want to be putting shorts, yard stuff as shorts. I just want to all my short videos I just want them to be yards. Main streets. But anyways, but as I was telling you guys, yeah, man. So with the two guys, you guys gotta watch out. Like, these guys were pretty cool. The guy even helped me. I even told the guy, give him a few bucks if he looks out, because you can still kind of see this off the main street, and on top of that, you can see the guys in the back working. So obviously, if they're gonna look like they're gonna call the cops, they're cool. And then the guy's like, no, they're not gonna do shit. The guys actually ended up being cool, the ones that were working there. At least one of them. The other one was kind of like, you could tell he was kind of speculating on calling somebody. But the other guy came out and he kind of cooled everything out. And he was like, what does it say? And then I told him, it says flare. And he was like, for sure. I was like, yeah. I was like, that's pretty cool. I was like, do you do this everywhere? And I obviously told him, I was like, no, I just do this in yards. I don't really go out to the main street. And he was like, no, that's good. That's good. So he obviously liked that. And he just, was just sitting there smoking and shit, just watching us post it up. I think he was just on his break. And after that, kind of calmed down a little bit. So I thought it was pretty cool. But I did take my chance of them calling the cops, because I was just out there. I just started painting, and then that's when mid bomb he asked me, like when I was already halfway filling it through. So, but it happens, man. But don't get too comfortable, man, because there's other people that don't give a fuck. They'll just call the cops just to see you get arrested. Because there's some people that particularly don't even care about it, but they just want to see you get arrested. So they're like, oh, I just want to see some like drama type shit. That's you guys just got to be wary of that. So just be careful when you guys are going out to bomb these kind of places and you guys see these industrial places, because not everybody's gonna be cool about it. But anyways, but yeah, man, so just kind of get into a few things, man. I've been painting in the city for a little while now, and ever since I came back over here, and I gotta say, like, I'm really disappointed. Like, there's a lot of, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of talent still here, but it's really just not the same. Like, the old school, I can see why the old heads and shit like that get pissed off, because these new school writers, they have, like, the ability to do way more than the old school writers, because we literally grab on their style. Because realistically speaking, people aren't going to admit it. Everybody thinks they came up with their own style. But I'm like, bro, like, there's only so many styles in the world that you can do. So at the end of the day, somebody's biting off my style. Like, I'll be the first to admit that some of my styles are styles from other people. Actually, I used to take people's styles when I was younger, and I used to practice with them. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that kind of helps you develop your own style. That's actually part of the reason that stupid graph page I always tell you guys about was, like, so... they were so pissed off because I would grab their styles and I would literally do my own name with them, and they would get pissed off like, oh my god, you're copying. But it was on paper. I would never do it on the wall. Like, on the wall, I've never copied anybody's style. Literally on paper, I would do it all the time so I can practice my own drawing skills. And since obviously I was more attentive to graffiti than anything else, that's what I would do. But sometimes I would do characters and shit like that, and I started expanding my my abilities. But yeah, man, so that's what I would do. Pretty much troll people at some point, and that actually helped me develop my style. Like, the styles I have now, like, I have a bunch of styles now, but some of those styles, I feel like they're pretty saturated because I see other people with really similar styles. I feel like this particular style that I have, it's probably a little different because I don't see anybody with that style. But even this style it came off somebody I looked up to, and then I grabbed whatever style they had, and then my style is actually inspired by two different styles. which came out to what I have now. Obviously, I haven't perfected it yet. I have, in the sense of like when I do this bomb constantly, like where it's a day where I'm drawing it every day, I can literally drop this thing like a throwy. Like I literally can be done in 10-15 minutes. But there's a when I get rusty and I haven't painted in a while, or I have a weird thing where if I start practicing other styles and I start focusing on other styles and I go back to the style, I just can't execute it that good no more. So that's my flaw, unfortunately, where I think I just have to keep practicing a little bit of everything. But yeah, man, so another thing, the reason I say I was disappointed is because a lot of these guys, they're doing just straight letters because they want to get their name read and shit like that. And that's cool and all. If you want to get your name read, I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I personally love straight letters. Like, when I go on main streets, I want to do a piece so bad, like a fucking crazy-ass piece, like the one you guys saw in my last video, which I particularly was kind of proud of. But reality is it's not that readable. At least I've been told by some people that's not that readable, right? And I'm like, damn. I was like, I thought it was more readable than... I thought I made it, like, simpler, because the style I actually executed was the one I had on paper. I had two of them. One... I had executed exactly the same that was on paper, which is the one that you guys see in on the last video. And then the other one was even crazier. It was like on damn near some wild style shit. So I was like, damn, I'm not going to do this one because this one you can't even read it. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just go with this one because it's a little simpler. But sometimes I get tempted to do that off of Main Street because I think it would be sick to be able to see your shit off the Main Street like that. Like, damn, this dude really sat there and did a piece and sat off of Main Street. At that point, I would need to look out, though, because ain't no way I could sit there for like 30 minutes to an hour to fucking do a full piece and not get arrested. Unless, I get lucky and I don't get caught. The other thing is, obviously, when you go out, a lot of places are really fucking dark and you can't see shit. And my vision is really, really bad. What I've been doing lately, I've been putting on, like, sunglasses. And been, trying to practice, practice my night vision pretty much. And then so when I go out, I can see a little better. So that's just a pro tip for any of you guys that go out and paint at night and want to do some decent shit. But man, so yeah, the reason I was complaining, man, is because the styles, I feel like they're getting saturated. Everybody's doing straight letters. Everybody's not they're just not that good, man. Like, and I'm not saying I'm the best either, but I just always like seeing these styles. There's a few dudes, don't get me wrong, like this yard has a lot of talent, but there's still a lot of people that are pretty toy, or I feel like they've been painting for so long that they should be better, or they just choose not to drop their best work. It's just really hard to say. But I know I get it. Some of these guys aren't even piecers, they're just like bombers, because there's people that just don't like to I heard of this term called anti-styler, but I don't know what that means exactly, because I'm not into that whole new lingo. I don't know if it's a new lingo, but I've never heard of that shit. The only thing is, I know there's people that like to do only throwies. There's people that like to do only throwies and straight letters, and then there's people that like to piece. So there's always like the different types of writers. There's even people that like to tag bang. Like, I know these old school writers I had beef with, and they were fucking garbage. Like, their bombs were fucking terrible. Like, they literally could not bomb at all, and they've been tagging for like 20 plus years, and then the excuse would be like, I'm a tag banger. And I'm like, damn, bro, like, but there's a limit to that shit, and that's where I always go back to the, fuck that shit. I don't want to be in this 20 plus years. And then, I don't know, let's just say a family member, oh, yeah, you heard you do graffiti, you could draw stuff, can you draw me something? And I just fucking pull out a tag and shit. I'm like, hell nah. So, that's why I always tell you guys, bomb. Even if you guys don't get into the piecing part, at least, learn how to do some basic bombs or just draw or something, Just level up your skill besides tags. And, like I said, I love hand styles and stuff like that and tags, but there's a limit to that shit. But anyways, guys, so another reason I also say this, man, is because, I'm going to be the one to say this. If people watch this video, a bunch of them are probably going to be pissed off. The problem with this graff game, and the reason I don't really hang out with nobody, there's a couple dudes I'll probably go paint with. I'm already talking to a few cats that I'm going to go paint with. And I'm going to be uploading that video, and that was going to be Main Street shit. So that's going to be one of my other videos where I'm going to just be painting with other people off Main Street. And, maybe some yards, but if I do yards, I'm going to go full piece and all that shit. The reason I say this is because I see a lot of, like, dick riders, man. To be straight up with you, like, a lot of dick riding in this game. If you guys ever pay attention to someone, like, if you guys were to sit there and actually look at what I'm recording, it's just people in different crews. Like, there'll be this guy, he'll be, like, in 3 different crews. He'll throw him up on the side of his little bomb. And then in one of those crews, there's another guy in that yard or in that area, and he's in one of those crews, and now he's throwing him his other 2 crews. And now there's another guy that happens to be in another one of those 3 crews he threw up. He's in one of those crews, and then the other guy's throwing up the 3 crews, and then 2 of those crews are from the first guy. So it's just a lot of you know, people just being in the same fucking crew, which, in my opinion, like, you don't have to beef. The beef part, I can see them. It's like everybody's scared of everybody because everybody's trying to beef for everybody, but everybody's scared. Like, that's just what it comes down to. I've seen most people that are scared. There's a couple dudes that are down or whatever, and I get it because when I dealt with the slop toy, it was really annoying because I was wasting so much paint with that dude, just capping his toy-ass shit with my shit. But obviously, with him, I figured out that spot that we're at is his no matter what. It's pretty much going to be his spot unless he moves because he doesn't even have a car. He literally just walks over there and just keeps painting that same spot, or he just walks around his neighborhood. Like, this dude is not, he's not up at all. You know, nobody still, to this day, I still have yet to see a bomb out here because, like I said, over there, that's cool. There's literally like 5 taggers over there, bro, where like they live in. Like, I say this, I emphasize this because I know I emphasize in the other videos because if you're really in up your game, you have to come out here to the city because this is where all the bombs are at. Like, this stuff I'm showing you guys is nothing. Like, I go onto the main street and there's bombs and shit like that. I just didn't get to record them because I was driving. But I have yet to see this dude out here at all. Like, honestly, as a matter of fact, some of the graphers that are over there, I've seen a few of them out here. So I was like, those are the dudes that are really trying to up their game and trying to get known. They're trying to put their name out. And this dude, I have yet to see him. Matter of fact, I have a bomb off the freeway that he hasn't even capped yet. Like, for this dude, that's when I figured out what was the plan was, because when I capped that bomb because I'm telling you, I would cap that bomb over there in that little canal, and he'll cap it right back like within days or like a week or sometimes 2 weeks. Honestly, all I had to do was post up there for maybe a week on some no life shit, and I probably would have caught him and beat his ass. But, you know, somebody else obviously already did that. And anyways, so that's when I figured out what was what, because even I saw the bomb last week, and I actually don't like it. I'm actually going to go back and fix it because I really thought he was going to go back there and cap it again. That's why I went to, like, I literally did a cheap fill. Like, it was, like, super garbage. And I was thinking, I was going to go back and cap it the next day anyway, so I was thinking he's going to be on that shit. And he never kept it. That shit's been there for, like, 6 months already, and nothing has happened. So that's how I figured this dude doesn't even have a car, and he's just walking around his neighborhood and tagging and making it look like he's in other places and shit like that. But anyways, so as I was saying, man, so the reason I bring all this up is because I get it. You know, a lot of these guys don't want to beef with each other because I've seen people beefing and they'll just be crossing out other shit. And I get it when you do a bomb and, like, there you go to a risky spot and you don't want it to get buffed. You don't want to worry about the buff and then also have to worry about somebody somebody capping you. So I get it. But with that being said, it doesn't mean that we have to be fucking all joining the same crews. Like, I'll never understand that, like, being in 3-4 crews shit. Like, honestly, I can't see myself being past 1 or 2 crews. I can see 2 crews maybe being a slight exception, but that's a lot of work to put in because, one, you have to throw up your name, and then the other thing, you have to throw up your crew. Because at the end of the day, once in a while, you have to throw up a crew. Like me, I'll say I've been honestly guilty of that. I haven't really done any crew bombs. I think I did like 2, but I haven't really done like too much bombs of my crew. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty much the only one in my crew left. So I'm pretty much trying to revive my crew. If I get people to join, cool. If I don't, doesn't matter. Regardless, I'm gonna be throwing it up, and that's what I'm gonna be sticking to. The other reason I throw it up is not just because, you know, I'm trying to keep my crew alive. It's also because I want people to know which one I am, because there's a lot of people with the same name. I had some guy on Reddit reach out to me and tell me that's what they write. But they were pretty toy because you could tell they were starting out. No disrespect to the dude, he's starting out, but you could just tell he's, you know, a beginner. So I'm like, you know, if he knows I'm writing this, and he changed his name, but apparently this is what he first wrote, and I was like, it's not a big deal to me. He was pretty respectful about it. I was just thinking, you know, if somebody already tells you they have the same name, I would probably switch out, especially if the other person's more, you know, has more name. It's like me trying to take up Saber or something like that. If you can see somebody's already had more experience and they're up, I would just either switch it out or at least put a number in your name or something. And that's why I'm going about it. Like, I'm throwing on my crew to people know that's that dude, so and so crew, right? And that's just the way I'm going about it. But anyways, as I was saying, guys, yeah, man, it's just this graff game. Honestly, I'm getting like a little discouraged by it. I see these guys are all like in the same crews. Everybody's just dick riding everybody, and it just seems like, and these guys feel all powerful. And I'm like, bro, like, the whole point is to get your stuff seen and have other people admire your work. At this point, it's just like, oh yeah, that's the homie, or that's the homie. I'm like, so what's the point? Like, honestly, it's to the point where you're starting to lose you kind of start losing the point of graff. And honestly, this is where the part where, like, if you really want to up your graff game, you really just want to graff, you want to start going out more, because in my city, it just seems like it's pretty limited. There's other people that come from other states and other cities and shit like that come graff, because it's starting to get more popular over here. This is actually becoming the new California, because there's a lot of people coming over here. Excuse me, guys. A lot of people coming over here and painting and shit, but I just really think that's just really weak. Everybody's just dig writing everybody, and that's why I'm really not fucking with any of the graffers. I mean, there's probably a few graffers I'll fuck with, but overall, I mean, I was just really disappointed of coming back to paint, and then this is what I see. So, whatever. But anyways, guys, so yeah, man, this bomb I did, it's pretty, it's nothing crazy. It's pretty simple. I'm pretty pissed off because I left a lot of my paint there. I actually took my worst paint with me. I ended up fucking picking up the wrong bag, and instead of taking all the Montanas I had, I ended up picking up some fucking black dollar paint and a gray Rusto. The gray Rusto works great. I like it because it looks a little better than the white, in my opinion. I like how it looks all, smoky looking or whatever. But I just didn't really like how this bomb came out. And unfortunately, with cheap paint, it seems like the paint runs out faster. So I wasted 2 cans to fill this in, and then I still didn't even have enough left over, because I was gonna fix the F, because the F looks a little big versus the other letters. But it is what it is. Whatever. I'm gonna come back. Like I said, I always tell you guys I do like 2 or 3 bombs. So I'm gonna come back and do a few more bombs, so that way if one gets capped, there's still a few more left. I'm gonna actually probably do 2 more bombs in here, because I really like this yard. It's in the cut, and it's also off the main street, so I like, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm actually probably gonna come back and do a roller, because I want to start hitting rollers too. So I might come back and do that for the most part. So, but we'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, so yeah, it's just not a super long video. I mean, it's long and it's not. Just kind of wanted to go over a few things with you guys. Just pretty much address the whole beef thing. I've also noticed that ever since I started painting, I've been catching people's attention. There's been a couple dudes been cool so far, like I told you guys last time, but there's already people talking shit, trying to beef with me. I already sparked up beef with like 3 other people, and I'm actually gonna be posting another video on that, where I'm gonna be just going out there and capping their shit to let them know what it is. And most of these dudes, they act all hard. They were the crew they're in. It was literally one of those crews that went backwards. They literally went from, they were originally a gang that we were beefing with, because I was always getting in a fight with them. We were always fighting with them. They were shooting at us. Well, honestly, they were shooting in the air. They're fucking pussies. They were shooting in the air, and obviously I'll pull out my shit, and then we'll just get into it. And then I fought a few of them. I've actually beat up a few of them already. A while ago, I put my hands on them. They were like some skinny dudes and shit. And I pretty much put my hands on them, and they were the ones that were like the gangbangers or whatever. They weren't even the taggers or anything like that. And it was funny because, I told you guys in the last video, there's a lot of crews here that go from crews to gangs, and these dudes went backwards. These dudes went from a gang to being a tagging crew. And a lot of these guys are in this crew. They're like dweebs, and I don't think they even know the history of it, because a lot of these guys, they're not even from that side of town. So I'm like, at least the dudes that were in the gang, they were actually doing shit. I'm not gonna lie, they were always getting beat up. They're always hearing stories about them getting beat up. They're like a weak gang. If you guys ever see Colors, the movie Colors, it's like a really old movie about these cops that are like in the hood and shit. It's these white cops that are like, watching this hood full of Mexicans and blacks, and one of the guys is driving the Hopkins. He's like the OG cop that they put back out on the field, and he's driving with the new guy, and he's like, yeah, man, there's this gang up here, the So gang. It's like an interracial gang. It's like blacks, Mexicans, and whites. And they have like a ginger in there, and then you're like, these guys are always getting beat up, and, just by other gangs and stuff. And I'm like, and that's literally what these guys were. And, and yeah, so I'm going to be capping their shit. So far, I'm only beefing with these 3 people, so I'm not going to cap their crew, but because they are a pretty known crew. I'm not gonna lie, they're up. They're like one of the crews that get more ups than a lot of other crews. But I don't give a fuck. If it comes down to it, I'll beef with the whole crew, because I know how half of these guys are built. I've gotten into fights with half of these guys. I've seen some of these guys, and they're like pussies. They'll meet me, and they'll be cool with me, and then they'll go online and talk shit about me, which is like some pussy shit. So I'm not too worried about it. So if it goes to war, I'll go to war with them. I don't really care. I'm not too worried about it because I know these guys, I know half of these guys, and the fact that they went from a gang to a tagging crew. Not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but that's, you just weren't built for that life. If you weren't, if you're gonna be on that gang shit, you would at least, if you're gonna turn into a tagger, I would at least assume you would switch the name of the crew. But instead they're repping it like they're still in the gang, but they're literally a tagging crew now. Like those dudes don't even exist no more gang wise. So, but yeah, man. So I'm gonna be uploading videos of that. I'm gonna start capping their shit. I'm gonna go pretty much all around and just cap their shit. I'm gonna make some time for that, and then I'll upload some videos of me capping all their shit. And like I said, if it turns into a crew beef, you guys are bound to see more stuff. It'll definitely be more entertaining than just get up toy stuff. These guys are really, it's a lot of them. So, and we'll get into it. Like I said, I was trying to avoid this because I was just trying to paint in peace. Like I told you guys when when you guys saw my first video that, and that almost has 10,000 views, which is, I didn't think it was going to get that far. I was thinking that it wasn't, as I told you guys in that very first video a while ago, I really was just trying to paint in peace. But with these dudes, they go online and just feel like the most powerful people ever. So what is going to happen is I'm going to have to catch these dudes sleeping, and I'm just have to put my hands on them, and I'm just have to cap their shit to get their attention. Is what's going to have to get. And like I said, if I have to go to war with the whole crew, I don't mind at all. Like by all means, I'm ready for it. But like I said, hopefully it doesn't lead to that. Like I said, I'm trying to avoid it, but it might be unavoidable, because at the end of the day with these guys, if you back down, even if you do it respectfully, they're just going to be like, oh yeah, I punked him. And that's why I tell you guys what I'm telling you guys. I'm not telling you guys to sound hard or anything like that. I'm telling you guys because I already know how this goes. They're like, yeah, that's why back then you don't want to beef with us because you're a pussy and blah, blah. And they're just going to start talking shit. So I already know what it is, man. So that's why it's you either retreat and take that L, or where you're supposedly, everybody's saying you're scared and you just pretty much be the bigger man. Or number two, you handle that shit. Either go capping their shit and try to meet them up until they give up, or until, I guess, you give up, because at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot of paint and that's going to be wasted and a lot of work you're going to have to put in. But yeah, man, that's kind of how you're going to have to go about it. But we'll see what happens, man, because, it's just, like I said, it's dick riders on dick riders, so one crew might turn into beef for, like, 6 crews, and these guys just always dick ride each other and shit like that. But then when you meet them up, they're fucking pussies, because if they don't have their squad with them, they won't do shit. And that's just how I've seen it happen. I've seen this unfold too many times this way. But anyways, guys, so just wanted to kind of go over this stuff, just a random rant. I didn't have anything scripted, so I was just literally going off of just speaking subjects in my mind, pretty much, that I had in mind. But anyways, man, some of the work here is that snitch dude again right there. Like I said, it's pretty clean work. Can't deny his talent, but can't fuck with no snitches, man. So, and then Endless, that was pretty clean. And then Coffee dude, this dude is pretty clean. He's one of the few bombers that I fuck with. He actually is the only one that does, like, he'll do this shit off of Main Street, no problem. I see him, like, he's actually doing pieces, like, off the Main Street. Like, there's some crazy ass shit he does. It's Pezzy. This is a girl, I believe. But yeah, man, so, but anyways, man, I appreciate you guys' support again, man. Again, like the video, subscribe, comment, so you guys can get into the giveaway. And I'm gonna be within next week, I'll be announcing the winner. So by the end of, I'll probably say by Friday the latest, so that I can give people a chance to all try to get in. But with that being said, you guys, I appreciate the support, and you guys stay up. And if you guys have any questions, just hit the comments. Stay up, you guys.